right, welcome to this week's version of the Inspired Parsha. But of course, this edition is going to be a little different because this coming weekend we're not reading a Parsha. We have the special, beautiful holiday of Rosh Hashana, which celebrates so many things, but isn't just a day of celebration. It is a day of introspection, a day of looking forward to the coming year, to try to make changes, think about things that we can improve on. And of course, one of the highlights of the Rosh Hashanah davening, the Rosh Hashanah service, is the coronation of the king. We come to recognize that God is the king of all mankind, the king of the universe. We sort of coronate him, so to speak, as our king. So one of the pivotal prayers of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur is Unasana Tokef. It's sort of the highlight or the pinnacle of the entire service in many ways. And the focus is the three elixirs, so to speak, the three pillars that can bring about change for the coming year for the good. And of course, the three that we all know is tshuva, tefillah, prayer, and tzedakah, charity. I like to sort of expand it that it's not just charity, perhaps it's acts of kindness as well. And always there's so much focus on the first two, on tshuva and tefillah. You know, tshuva is definitely the biggest topic this time of year, and tefillah, prayer, is pretty much all we do Rosh Hashanah, and especially Yom Kippur. All we do is just spend so much time in shul, in the synagogue, pouring out our hearts. So the third one is very often neglected, which is tzedakah, acts of charity or kindness. And I wanted to focus a little bit on this one for just a moment. You know, the Baal Shem Tov says, he gives this beautiful parable that I feel is so rich. He just says that a king wanted to see the loyalty of the people in his kingdom. He wanted to see how much the people in his kingdom truly loved him. You know, relationship is only long lasting, so to speak, if it's mutual, if it's two-sided. Both the giver and the taker, they both have the same feelings for each other. So he wanted to see how his people, how they felt about him. So what he did is he dressed up as a commoner, and he wanted to see, when he went out amongst the people, who would still be able to see behind the facade and recognize that this is the king, and then treat him with the same amount of love and compassion as the king, or the other people who wouldn't recognize him as the king and just neglect him and treat him like a regular pauper. So he'd use this as a test, and then once a year he would reveal himself as being the true king. And I love that parable because the idea is that all of us have a spark of the king inside of us, right? We all are what we call it Tselem Elokim. We have an image of the divine. The king of all kings rests inside each and every one of us. But God during the year lives, he resides in us as a pauper. He pretends to just be a commoner. The way to express our love for God, our love for Hashem in this world, is through loving our fellow man, through wanting to give to our fellow man, to be able to see the godly spark inside of our fellow man. You know, this is the Baal Shem Tov. You know, so much of Hasidus is that learning to find God in the universe. And Hasidus says, you know, if you can't find it in learning Torah, try to find it in prayer. And if you can't find it in prayer, try to find it in a song. And if you can't find it in a song, just simply love your fellow man. That's what the Baal Shem Tov taught. So I believe that this is a wonderful message to go into Rosh Hashanah. Think about not only tshuva and tefillah, but tzedakah, charity as well, to be able to reach inside, see the goodness in our fellow man, want to give loving kindness to our fellow man, because every one of our fellow men has the godly spark inside of themselves. Wishing everyone here a beautiful, meaningful Rosh Hashanah. Thank you for listening.